Hello everyone, and welcome. Today, we're tackling a fascinating and often asked question: did any American soldiers stay in Vietnam after the war ended? It's a topic that sparks curiosity, sometimes even myths. Let's get to the bottom of it. First, let's be clear. The vast majority of American soldiers left Vietnam. When the Paris Peace Accords were signed in 1973, there was a massive effort to withdraw all remaining U.S. combat troops. This was a huge logistical undertaking. Thousands of soldiers, airmen, and Marines were brought home. The official stance and the reality for almost every single service member was repatriation back to the United States. The goal was to bring everyone back, alive or accounted for. However, the question isn't just about the main force. What about individuals? Were there any exceptions? This is where it gets a little more complex. We need to distinguish between different scenarios. One scenario involves those who were missing in action, or MIA, and prisoners of war, or POWs. These individuals did not stay voluntarily. They were either unaccounted for or held captive. Extensive efforts continued for years to find and return these brave Americans. Their families waited for decades. This was not a choice to remain in Vietnam. It was a tragic consequence of war. Then there's the very rare case of defection or desertion. Throughout the Vietnam War, a tiny handful of American service members chose to defect or desert. Some of these individuals might have found their way to other countries, often communist nations. The number of those who explicitly chose to remain in North Vietnam or with the Viet Cong after the war, and were not later repatriated, is incredibly small. It's not a widespread phenomenon. These were isolated incidents, often driven by personal disillusionment, political beliefs, or facing legal issues back home. Their stories are often obscure and not well documented in public records as staying in Vietnam in a traditional sense. The U.S. government's primary focus was always on accounting for and returning its personnel. There isn't evidence of any significant group of American soldiers choosing to live out their lives in Vietnam immediately after the war's conclusion. In summary, the idea of American soldiers voluntarily staying in Vietnam after the war's official end for U.S. involvement is largely a myth. The focus was on withdrawal and accountability. While the stories of MIA and POWs are real and heartbreaking, they don't fit the idea of voluntary residence. Any instances of defection were extremely rare and involved a very small number of individuals, often with complex personal circumstances, and not necessarily remaining in Vietnam itself. The overwhelming truth is that American soldiers went home. Thank you so much for watching and for joining me on this exploration of history. If you found this information insightful, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing. Your support helps this channel continue to bring you more fascinating historical discussions. We appreciate every single one of you.